He's still in Doom. Look, here's the factory. So, this is where we really start to get into these, quote, city levels. And, you know, they're... I think a few of them are really good, and I don't know. The factory is definitely seen as one of those doo-doo levels, and I disagree. I have, you know, again, because I was having some very unsuccessful playthroughs, I ended up going through this level quite a few times, and I really enjoy it. It is kind of weird because it has a lot of big empty spaces with nothing going on. And it's kind of like... That's sort of a no-no in Doom modding, which is that... Not that every single square inch has to be filled with stuff, but you do definitely want to try to have something interesting happening everywhere. You know? And... to kind of have these like big areas outside of these buildings where there's not really much of anything going on does kind of feel a bit unbalanced, but I just really enjoy the progression. I like this big dangerous area with all the you know, with all the mancubi, and this weird little trick here to kind of get the and see, look, I can now just exit right there. It's great. Like, if you know what you're doing, you can get through these levels a lot quicker than you might imagine. But it takes a certain amount of trial and error to kind of figure it out. And this part still kind of trips me up a little bit because. I don't know, it just, there's a lot of switches and stuff, and like, remembering where every single one of them is, it can be a little tedious, and I'm not a big fan. This is the only part of the level I don't like, and I'm just not a big fan of like puzzles like that where you're just having to remember very specific locations of the same thing, and I don't know, just, that part is kind of whatever. But this is another level that catches a lot of crap, and I don't know, I think it's really neat. It was frustrating me for a while, and as I started to slowly kind of figure everything out, I started to have so much damn fun with it, and even complaints I would try to have about the level started to fall apart when I got better and better at recognizing the visual cues to kind of distinguish everything. And hopefully I won't get lost here, but I think I remember what to do. Okay, so we got the blue key, and see, I like how there's this big arrow there. It kind of reminds you, like, hey, this is important. But this was kind of tripping me up for a while, and it was my own damn fault, because what I had failed to realize was that, well, if you go back here, then the relevant blue key is through the other kind of hole, I guess. Like, there's that one there that I just went through, and then there's the... Wait, is there? Yeah, there's this second one. But that does go somewhere, but it's not related. I think it's going through the yeah, it's the teleporter, and I did not kill the... I think that there was some revenants I was supposed to kill there. I'm pretty damn lucky. Yep, yeah, I was real lucky that I... Shit, that could have been really bad. Okay, so... just get out of here. Yeah, and got the second key, and you know, once you do figure it out and kind of are able to remember these sorts of things, suddenly navigating these levels becomes a lot of fun. And again, this is another example where I couldn't really do this in Doom 2016, where I'm leaving lots and lots of enemies unkilled, for lack of a better word, and you know, I really think that hardware advances by the time we get to the next Doom will give us more enemies on screen. And I'm not saying that we constantly need to have like 40 or 50 enemies clawing at you. I'm just saying that if you want to be able to have that classic gameplay where you're kind of going through large parts of a level passively, that you would have the option to do so, you know? Alright. Oh, it's pretty busy out here. Now, there's an invulnerability, which I probably don't need it at this point, but I think I'm going to grab it just because. And I don't have the BFG yet, and I could have grabbed it earlier in the pit. And it's neat because obviously they anticipated that maybe you hadn't grabbed it yet. You can grab it here, but again, it's not exactly like out in the open. You got to kind of look for it. And I appreciate that. That's a hallmark of Doom, which is the exploration. So, okay, why don't we get through this one, and I'll probably call it a day after this, and we'll do the next few levels. Wow, I'm like really low on both shells and bullets there, so kind of gotta watch it. This is another level that I remember thinking, like, is this a yucky feeling level because it's not very fun? And no, that's not the case at all. It's a really great level that is held back by a lot of brown, and I really honestly feel that you can improve this level a lot. You only have to improve it through the texturing, because it's a good level. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit of a Doom 2 apologist, but I think it's pretty fantastic design for the most part. It's just kind of... I like some of the architectural details, like these attempts at kind of a... I don't know if I want to say that they're supposed to be curved windows, maybe, but just these kind of using the limitations of the engine in a really architecturally interesting ways. Okay, I'm about done for. I don't know if I'm going to survive this. And yeah, this is a neat level. It kind of plays with your expectations, because you're kind of like, okay, there's, you know, this is sort of like where the level leads you, but you can't get to it yet. And I think this is another strong point of classic Doom level design, which is how they incorporate backtracking. It's not that backtracking itself is particularly novel, it's just that it flows really well and it feels really good the way that they incorporate it. So you go back to the beginning, and you're kind of hinted at this earlier, you know, and now I can go through here, and yeah, I'm going to see if I can just run up to the Archvile and just, like, nail... Ah, crap. I didn't expect that shotgun guy to kind of get in my way there. So let's see if we can... Ah. Oh. Okay, so that didn't go well. As much shit as Quake catches for kind of being a really brown game, especially Quake 2. Definitely there's a lot of brown in Doom 2. And they could have laid off the brown a little bit. I think that there was room for some really creative texturing that wouldn't have been overly colorful and out of place, but they definitely went for a very samey kind of look because of how the fact that just the sheer number of new textures that use those same brown colors over and over. And I know that palette limitations also played a part, and that's part of what makes Doom hold up, is that the palette was used really well, but it also means that you have a lot of samey areas like this where the brown is just a little a little blah. Oh, look at that. I'm going to have to rush into that already having pulled the trigger instead of, like, you know, because it takes a moment. Let's just kind of take care of him. Yeah, and once you kind of get a little better at the game, these areas are a little quicker to get through. You can see that just from my playthrough here, I'm like doing a little better and getting through. Oh, okay, I stand corrected. And getting through these areas a little. God damn it! We're gonna get through this. God damn it! All right. Screw you. Screw you. That chain gunner seems to get stuck there, which is kind of strange. I wonder what that's about. I wonder if maybe his positioning is like too close to the wall or something. So I can do it quicker if I go. Yeah. So. Okay, and bam. I wonder what took off so much goddamn health a minute ago, because I seem to be doing a lot better here. Okay. Let's just take care of those other guys later. Let's just go ahead and really want to get that damn archvile. So I'm just gonna have to go in already, like, bam. God, that's so annoying. Like, just go in there with your all guns blazing with your most powerful weapon, and you still don't get him, and he gets you. Yeah, all right. But hey, feels good. So, as I said, I'm running this on a GZ Doom, and the latest versions of GZ Doom have an ambient occlusion option, which creates kind of a really nifty effect with the... It's hard to describe, but it kind of approximates a very subtle... Okay, that's not useful. It approximates a very subtle kind of lighting around the edges of you know, different objects, and it looks really, really terrific in my opinion. There are some people who don't like to overload Doom with graphical enhancements, but I like stuff that is able to really add to the experience without feeling like that doesn't belong in Doom, kind of thing. And certainly there are mods where it's like, I don't know about that. I have always been a little iffy with 3D model type of mods or HD texture mods, because they're not done by professionals. You know, they're done by hobbyists who are going to have different styles, and it's going to clash with everybody working together, and you know, it's just the results are never particularly satisfying, I guess, because, you know, the game is very, very nice and consistent looking by itself, and enhancements like GZ Doom here, and with the dynamic lights and the ambient occlusion, I think it looks pretty nice, actually. But yeah, once you're actually trying to actually okay, stop saying that word. You're using filler language, Ricky. Let's try this again. Once you're doing something beyond enhancing what's already there, once you're creating new sprites and textures, once you're replacing the original graphics, that's where you really start to run into problems. And this is not the right place Yeah, this looks very similar to the other area, which is supposed to go here. Um, yeah, I just haven't seen a successful attempt at that yet. I've certainly seen earnest attempts, but they're just, you know, I think maybe in the future, you know, the economy is changing, and we're in a very interesting economic atmosphere right now where the possibility of somebody assembling a team who's going to get literally paid to mod like Doom 2, we're very close to that being a very real possibility. And if that sort of thing, yay, I got past it.